We've got two of the most expensive 2026 RAV4s, and Dad, today we're going to find out which one is best.
Yeah, we've got the new Limited and we have the new GR Sport. Now these are kind of the top of the line models, and well, let's just get into it, Tommy.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the key differences. Now, for 2026, the RAV4 has been totally revamped. We're talking new design, we're talking different, more powerful engines, we're talking new interiors, and these two trims are kind of at the top. So we've got the luxury-oriented Limited and the, quote, high-performance version of the RAV4 in the GR Sport. So Dad, let's start out with the style. When you get these two next to each other, it's obvious they look pretty different.
Yeah, I mean, the grille on the GR is much more aggressive. It's got a much bigger air intake versus the grille on the Limited, which looks more, like you said, luxurious, more premium.
Yeah, so the grille here, we've got these little hexagonal style patterns that extend throughout, and we do have that same motif here on the GR Sport, but you're gonna notice there's a lot more of them. They're not as separated. This has got a much larger intake system. Now, if you look at the overall stance, you might notice that the black car here sits a little bit lower. The GR Sport has 15 millimeters less ground clearance than a standard RAV4. That's about half an inch, so it's got 7.5 inches of ground clearance versus 8.1. It's got very different suspension, different dampers, and different bar designs on this GR Sport, so it's gonna ride a little bit stiffer. It's got reprogrammed power steering, but when we come to power, that's where things get interesting.
Yeah, now the GR Sport, of course, is new for the RAV4 lineup. Before, there was no GR Sport. There was a Limited, but no GR Sport. And this is sort of kind of more of a performance slash appearance package. There you go, that's what you're looking for, I think.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because while you do get, like you said, a stiffer suspension, sharper steering, you don't get more horsepower, especially if that were the plug-in hybrid, which this is, but that also comes as a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, so the plug-in hybrid version of the RAV4, regardless of it's a Limited or a GR Sport, gets 324 horsepower, which makes it the most powerful, smallish crossover in its class. And we're talking vehicles like CR-V, like the Nissan Rogue, like even the Mazda CX-5 Turbo and Volkswagen Tiguan Turbo, this is still more powerful. Now the Limited, this one is just the standard hybrid. So this one's at 236 horsepower, which is still about a 17 horsepower bump over last year's model. But here's where things are crazy. Yeah, if you want to come over to the side of this GR Sport, this has a 7 kilowatt AC charger. And how big is the battery?
It's 22 kilowatt hours.
Yeah, so this will go about 50 miles on a charge. However, this is a key difference. If you get a Limited plug-in hybrid, you also get DC fast charging up to 50 kilowatts, which the GR Sport doesn't have, and 11 kilowatts of AC charging. So basically, a Limited with the plug-in hybrid will charge a lot faster than the GR Sport.
Which is a little head scratching, because you'd think that they would just do the same thing since they're both plug-in hybrids. Now, all RAV4s are either hybrid or plug-in hybrid.
Yes.
So there's no more just regular internal combustion engine without electrification.
And if I remember correctly, all Limiteds and GR Sports come standard in all-wheel drive.
Yep.
So you can get a front-wheel drive one like in an XLE or an LE, but not in the Limited or GR Sport.
You know, I think the biggest difference is when we get inside. So you want to show the Limited first, and then we can compare it to the GR Sport. Now keep in mind, the GR Sport, like I said, is more like an Audi S-Line or a AMG. What would be the AMG version of it? It would be the
AMG line,
yeah.
Yep, BMW M Sport, something like that.
Yeah.
So the interior of this car, this is not a great color combo. This is black on black, but these seats are incredibly comfortable. So not a lot of bolstering in this Limited, very flat seats, but lots and lots and lots of cushion. And something which I like in this model, let me turn the fan down a little bit, is there's no blink buttons. Look at this, there's buttons for everything. So you got your 360 camera button here. You've got your downhill assist button here. Traction control off there, and then this one also has the park assist function as well.
Now, why don't you show them the shifter, because it is different in this car than the GR.
So this Limited has the electronic shifter, which is this weird little nub paddle thing that you move around. I actually like the GR shifter a lot more. We'll see that in a second. That's a big chunky shifter.
You also get, if you look here, not one but two Qi wireless chargers.
Yeah, so if I take my phone out, of course you got one there on the driver's side, but you also have one on the passenger side, which is a great feature. This one also has the Digital rearview
Here, you
mirror.
want to show 'em?
Yep, digital rearview mirror. You can see it there. And then watch what happens when I push this button.
You have this massive
The pano sunroof
exactly
that does open. Yeah, very cool. So
and then you don't have something back here.
no paddle shifters in
Right.
this. Both of these have the 12.9-inch screen. This is the newest Toyota infotainment system. It's very, very effective. It's better than the old one. It now relies on these tiles as the home screen, which is pretty cool. This one has different drive modes as well, which you can either go through here, or you can do the drive mode button, or you can use the second drive mode button for the trail settings.
Yeah, it's like they wanted symmetry, right? And then they had to figure out what to put in there. So they did two different drive modes, one kind of for on-road and one kind of for off-road, because you got trail and snow right there.
One other interesting thing I want to point out, 5 USB-C chargers in this vehicle.
Yep.
They're all 45 watts. I think they're all 45 watts. At least the ones in the front are 45 watts. When we go over to that GR Sport, for some reason, they're 15 watts.
Yeah, I don't, whatever product planner did this, did some kind of interesting decisions that I'm not quite sure about. Now, you also have memory seats. Well, not here, over there.
Memory seats. You should have a power seat on that side as well.
Do I have a power seat?
Yep.
I do have a power seat. Look at that. That's nice.
Power seat. So this is a very well equipped model. It's got all of the features you'd expect with Toyota Safety Sense 4.0. It also has a heated steering wheel, heated seats. I don't think it has ventilated seats. So that's one thing I would like on these top trim models.
You know what's crazy though? Here's the crazy part before we go into the GR Sport.
No, it does. Look at this.
Got heated and ventilated.
Heated and ventilated. I'm
seats.
incorrect, yeah.
So here's the crazy thing, Tommy. If this were the plug-in hybrid, like that, how much more horsepower would that have?
0.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the GR Sport has revised suspension. It's got the wing. You want to show them the wing?
Yeah, the wing's different. So you got this wing that supposedly generates some downforce.
Yep, at least some aero tweaks. It's got the badging.
It's got a lot of badges.
It's got the rear diffuser kind of look, but it doesn't make any more power.
Oh God, do you see the exhaust on this thing?
Yeah, it's way under there.
No, look at them though. Look how tiny they are.
They're just little guys.
They're so cute. But you do get bigger wheels. Well, you get bigger tires.
Not really.
No? I thought
the same 235. I think they're spaced out a little more.
They look a little bit more aggressive.
But this is a Dunlop street tire, and these wheels are 4.8 pounds lighter per side than the standard tire.
And you get red calipers, Tommy. Look at that.
I know.
Wow.
So these should be 235s. That's what I was reading. Yeah, 235 50s, and I think these are also 235 width. But this is a Falcon all season on.
Are they 235s?
Yeah, let me just make sure.
Can you see? It's always hidden.
235, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then if you look over here, the spoiler is certainly different, right?
Yep.
You can't get your fingers in there. So this is more of, just a traditional spoiler and less of a real spoiler that actually, changes airflow.
But you really get a good sense of the design differences when you park these two next to each other. Do you want to show the inside of the Sport?
Yeah, now this is where it gets really different.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, of course, we have much more, well, let's call them aggressively styled seats with a big GR logo right there, a big GR logo on the floor mat.
So yeah, aggressive bolstering too on this car. GR badging on the steering wheel with the paddle shifters. Now these both have an ECVT transmission, planetary gear set, so there's no conventional gears, but this will simulate gears for you.
And here's where it gets different, right? That shifter.
Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah, way better.
Just nice and satisfying.
And then look, only one wireless charger, blank there.
No, yep, you don't have the parking help. You don't have the sunroof in this model.
Yep.
You do have the big screen though, so same big screen. Let's see if we've got, no ventilated seats in the GR Sport. You do have a heated steering wheel. You do have the standard Toyota Safety Sense 4.0, so you got all the safety gear.
You get more aggressive steering wheel too.
Yeah, you get red stitching too, which is cool. Same 12.9-inch digital cluster here. So there are definitely big changes stepping between these two. So, I mean, I like the look of this Sport a lot. I actually think it looks very cool on the outside. The one thing I wish it had was more power. Like you said, it's the same 324 horsepower.
Yeah, if BMW can do it with the X3M, why can't these guys do it?
And then this button right here is how you go between your EV and your hybrid modes. So you can cycle through. And here you get the state of charge. It's at 25% right now. And this car is about 50 miles of range.
Now, there is one big difference between them, and that is availability.
Oh, and look, 15-watt charging for some reason
Yeah,
versus
that's
45.
also weird.
Yeah.
So availability is weird because the regular hybrid is available in December, but the plug-in hybrid won't be available until next year.
Yeah, spring is what they're saying for the plug-in hybrid. I mean, I think that for most people, the best solution is to get the Limited and then get the plug-in hybrid version of the Limited. I think that's the best compromise of these two. But the one big thing we don't know is pricing. Because if the pricing is similar, that's a cool looking car for the money.
I'm betting it's not going to be that far off. I'm betting that's closer to 50, but this is also going to be 50.
Yeah, it'll be like 47 if I had to guess.
These are both top line. Now there is a third model that is the Woodman. It used to be called the Adventure. And if you want to see that review, where should they go?
alltfl.com. We got a little mini off-road video of taking the Adventure trim into some dirt. And then we also have a review these are a little rich for your blood, which I don't blame you. We also have the XLE review in front wheel drive. Which is over at alltfl.com.
I have to ask you, Tommy, let's say apples to apples money-wise, or close enough, let's call them both 45 to 50. Which would you rather get? Would you rather have the GR Sport, or would you rather have the Limited, which is the luxurious one versus the sporty one? You tell me.
You know, initially I kept saying GR Sport, but now that I think about it, if the power is similar in the plug-in hybrid, I would go with the plug-in hybrid Limited. You get a little bit more ground clearance for snowy Colorado winters. You get standard all-season tires. You get the dual chargers and the big sunroof. So I think that as cool as this one looks, I like those added features on the Limited.
I am not with you, Tommy. I'm going to go with the GR Sport just because I'm a sucker for style. That looks a little too dated, a little too stodgy in some ways. Old man, young man. I'm going to go with old man driving a young man car.
Well, guys, let us know what you think in the comments below. Which one do you prefer? And this has been Tommy.
And Roman saying thanks for watching. Remember, head on to alltfl.com if you want to see individual reviews of all of these, because, boy, Toyota flew us here to Phoenix, just outside of Phoenix, to actually review these. So we're very grateful, and we're very grateful that you guys are watching. See you next time. Ciao!